Good day everyone, especially to you sir. First of all, I will introduce myself first. I am Kenneth P. Divinagasya, a base cream student. So for today's video, I will tackle the chapter 1, which is the Filipino influences, threats, and characteristics. So the Philippines is a meeting point for culture from all over Asia and the Pacific because it has been a crossroads between East and West, and the merging of cultures reflects the country's cultures and its people. It comes from various ethno-linguistic groups that are native to the islands or migrants from various Asia-Pacific regions. Filipinos are the people who are naturally born to or recognized with the Philippine country. China, the United States, and Spain mainly influence the modern Filipino identity. Though Filipino are racially similar to Malays but in terms of culture, they are more like the Spaniards. Thus, it could be claimed that Filipino are the most hot-blooded and brave citizens in the tropical Asian cultures. Like other like other countries, the Philippines has its opposing values and labels. It is believed by the Filipinos that the country have the best values in the world. Though it has experienced colonization by several countries, but the core values it has gained from the Filipino ancestors remained intact and are still honored today, like the bayanihan or spirit of kinship and camaraderie implanted by Malay ancestors and close family ties inherited by the Chinese ascendants. The most well-known traits and attitude of the Filipino. Number 1 is hospitality. Hospitality is a trait displayed by every Filipino characterized by heartwarming, generosity, and friendliness, exhibit to foreigners and locals alike. Filipinos are well known for being hospitable. This is one of the most popular qualities of Filipinos. Most foreigners who have gone to the Philippines fell in love with the warm hospitality they have experienced while staying in the country. This is kind of value system which has existed in the country thousands of years ago. Good thing is that the hospitality of the Filipinos is not only shown to the foreigners but its fellow Filipino as well. So this is the hospitality of Filipinos is shown in the following sample situations. First is when a person visits a friend's house, the host greets him or her with a very warm welcome. The host will immediately let their visitors sit down and will prepare a meal or a snack plus drinks for the visitors. The host will insist that the friend not leave the house with an empty stomach. Host will always make sure you had a great time visiting them. Second is people offer their guest room to visitors if they're going to spend the night. Next is meals offered to guests are very special. A host always finds a way to prepare great tasting food that her visitor wants to eat. Number 2, respect. This is often observed not just by younger people but also by people of all ages. In the Philippines, respect for one's elders is a tradition. First, opo, po, and opo, these words are spoken by the Filipinos when talking to elders or in order to show respect to persons in authority. These Filipino words mean yes when answering or talking to the elders. Second is pagmamano, another way of showing respect to the elders when greeting them. This is done by putting their elders' hands on their foreheads. Next is Filipinos also show respect at work by making a bow to their employers. So number 3, strong family ties and religions. Filipinos value their families so much that they tend to keep families intact through the generations. Families go to church and pray together because their religion is important and creates a strong bond. Marking God as the center of their lives, Filipinos believe in only one God, and majority of the population are Catholics. It is a value system of the Filipinos to pray before eating, going to bed before the start of the meeting, conferences of program, gathering, and etc. On weekends, most Filipino families make sure to have quality time together by watching television or eating a family meal, watch movies, or going to beach resorts. Number 4, generosity and helpfulness. Aside from being hospitable, Filipinos are also well known for being generous. They share what they have to the people around them even when they only have little. This could be felt during birthdays, weddings, or fiesta, which is party. When visitors came to celebrate great tasting, special foods are specially prepared for everyone. It is shared by friends, families, or even strangers. When you will be in trouble, Filipinos cannot refuse to help you. They are always willing to assist you or lend a hand. Next is number 5, strong work ethics. Another good thing most Filipinos have is being hardworking people. They are always willing to work almost the whole day to provide the needs of their families. Filipino farmers, though earnings so little, but they work harder with not much compensation. Aside from their regular work, Filipinos always find creative ways to look for other sources of income, like creating a small business from their home where they sell foods and other items for the convenience of their neighbors. Next is number 6, loving and caring. Because of their generosity, hospitality, and religiosity, Filipinos are found to be the sweetest and most loving people in the world. It is expressed by both foreigners and Filipino women that most Filipino men are so sweet and romantic when it comes to love. They will send their beloved flowers, bring her to a very romantic place, text her sweet quotes, and tell often how special she is to them. Filipino women are also romantic and very caring, which often makes some foreigners want to marry them. Women tend to prepare dinner before their husband comes home. They love and value the relationship, always staying faithful to their husbands. They love deeply and sincerely. So next is negative traits of Filipinos. Number 1, fatalism. Bahala na or come what me. Attitude. When Filipinos are facing difficulties and shortcomings, they have this attitude of leaving it up to God to sort things out. An attitude of what goes around comes around. Filipinos have that strong confidence that everything will work out in his interest without doing anything. Filipinos often accept bad news or circumstances without trying to stop or change them. This can sometimes be helpful in adversity, but it can also keep us from finding ways out of situation. Also, constantly expecting the worst can get pretty depressing. Number 2, manana habit or the procrastination. True-blooded Filipinos have the attitude of causing delays in accomplishing things or making transactions. When not interested or not in the mood, they wait or reserve until tomorrow or the next day to finish what there are some Filipinos also they are doing or meeting the transaction. However, there are some Filipinos nowadays who take their time in doing things or in making decisions promptly. There are some who are habitually late or not showing up at all. There are few Filipinos who are punctual for social meetings. In fact, it is not expected of them to arrive exactly on time, especially at a party. The bahala na attitude is the outcome of the manana habit. When the tasks are left undone, this is usually shown and even expressed by people who do not care much of what lies ahead and just leave everything in fit. Number 3, crab mentally. This is an attitude of some Filipinos where they tend to push each other down to clear the way of their own gain. Filipino people with this kind of mentality or attitude try their best to ruin each other, either by making issues against the other for him to turn out bad to the public or to the company of organization, so that people will gradually put distance and lose their confidence and trust that eventually resort to their replacement. Number 4, hypocrisy. This is a trait of the Filipino where criticism to others, failure to live with the moral standards of the society are inevitable. In the Philippines, morality is highly valued. Most of us try to live up to the standards set by the traditional society. However, as no one is perfect, many of us are not actually able to sustain these standards. The fear of being an outcast has forced a lot of people to live double standard life. To hide our failure in following a norm, we tend to be condemning those who are caught red-handed. A perfect example could be the criticism faced by those who become pregnant outside marriage. The sad fact behind this scenario is that some of these critics could have actually engaged in premarital sex to only that no proof is visible. Number 5, ningas kugod. Most Filipinos are very good at the start when doing something. Nevertheless, after a few hours of this, what excitement to do or accomplish something is lost. We, we and become too lazy to finish what we have started. Number 6. Tardiness, or the Filipino time. Only in the Philippines that we have the so-called Filipino time, but not exactly referring to Philippine Standard Time. But then again, we use it to refer to the tardiness of the persons that we are waiting or who keeps on coming late to the set time schedule of events. Number 7. Gossiping. Filipinos are fond of talking about other business. It is not true that only women are into gossiping. Even men can also be nosy and other people's lives. Secrets and brought out failures and flaws are emphasized, and relations are destroyed. Number 8. Blaming. Filipinos can sometimes be too self-righteous. When mistakes happen, we do not to take the blame. We lack humility to accept our failures, and instead we point at others. This shows how irresponsible we are on our actions. This attitude destroys teamwork and reliability becomes an issue. Next is number 9. Selfishness. Most Filipinos are insensitive to the needs and situations of others. This could be an outcome of having too many problems that Filipinos are facing, and the tendency is to focus on their own needs first before others. Number 10. Disobedience to simple rules and instructions. Some Filipinos, despite of the understanding of the purpose of laws and ordinances, have inability to observe and follow them. Consequently, crime, victimization, and accident rate in the Philippines are constantly rising. Poverty is getting more rampant and lifestyle development is relaxed. Number 11. Attention taker. Filipinos are fun and people-loving race, thus attracting attention is natural for them. Nevertheless, it is a different thing to be an ipal or kapalmoks, simply being attention grabber. Next is number 12. Being onion-skinned or too sensitive. Another habit or attitude that we need to change is our being too proud, which usually results to being oversensitive. If we think highly of ourselves, then we have the tendency to put a wall ground as and that a signboard on our forehead saying, I must be respected. Therefore, when someone makes a joke or a not as so positive comment about us, we feel we are not respected and we get offended. If all people in the country do not know how to accept constructive criticism, then we can expect unity. Next is number 13. Living beyond their means. One of the reasons why a lot of Filipinos live in poverty is because of overspending. Since most people want to live an elite lifestyle, many resort to social climbing or living beyond their means. Sometimes some of us think that as long as we wear designer clothes and shoes and we send our children to the most expensive schools, it is alright to be swimming in credits and loans. Number 14. Passivity. Filipinos' lack of initiative for change is also one reason why our country does not progress. We keep on complaining against the government and other societal issues. However, we do not do anything about them. One of our excuses is the lack of faith that our small actions can bring change. Next is number 15. Other negative traits. Some Filipino women gave birth at an early age 16, teenage pregnancy. Some just don't mind their own business. Some have many bad habits like drinking, smoking, and etc. Some poor teenagers engage in prostitution. There are many broken families, a lot of bad words to choose from which Filipinos just can't avoid those. Most Filipinos tend to be with friends most of the time than to be with their parents. So that's all, sir. Thank you.